Welcome, everybody, to day 2 of the Procrastination Reboot. I'm Marnie Pash, owner of Team Pash Academic Coaching and the host of School Counselor Gone Rogue. It's super awesome to talk to you guys again, but I wanted to kick things off by answering this question, like, where exactly did my love of talking about procrastination come from? Well, let me take you back to the 1990s, okay? I was a struggling student, and I still remember the pain of sitting in class wondering why everyone seemed smarter, why everyone got it and I didn't, and just being bored out of my mind and teachers telling me I wasn't smart enough to take certain classes. I felt like a failure and I felt dumb. The result, I kind of gave up and I procrastinated. And you know what? I was pretty darn good at it. Even though I was really good at it and I put things off, it never felt good. It didn't make me feel any better about myself. Probably made me feel worse. But don't let it scare you, okay? Because there is an upside to this story. I did get into college despite, multiple trips to summer school and my kind of grades. But I brought all of those habits with me. Like, I still procrastinated. I still thought things came easier to other people. And I still hate it to study and learn. So just because my environment changed, it didn't mean any of those things were any different. And then I took a career assessment and it said I should be a school counselor. And I was like, oh, what's a school counselor? And you might also know them as guidance counselors. But when I read it and I read the description and what they're supposed to do, I was like, oh my God, I didn't have one of these people in my life. And surely they could have helped me connect to school and find my passions and how to apply passions to what I wanted to do in life. So that was what I wanted to do. Now, this is all a very long story that I'm trying to shorten, but I moved to Florida, had my awesome kids, my awesome husband, and because of my past academic endeavors, I had to claw my way into my master's program. But once I got in, I rocked it out. And I had like almost an all A's in every class. And I did it because I started to find ways to beat procrastination and find ways to condense my work and strategic studying skills. These are all things like I envied, secretly, because it wasn't really cool to be, like envying people for their study skills. But I really wanted to achieve in high school if I look back on it. But I didn't think I was capable. And that's not true. I was capable, but everyone just kind of let me flail about. And when I graduated, I dipped my toe into the school setting, but I realized, school still wasn't the right place for me. And like I tell my students, if you don't fit in the system, you make your own. And that's why I'm here talking to you awesome people, a former queen of procrastination, now helping other people understand it and get on top of it. And I am, honestly, I think one of the luckiest people in the world. Now that you know a little about me and my passion about procrastination, I want to talk about you and I want to talk about the pain of procrastination. Think about yesterday's exercise when we talked about the benefits of procrastinating. You said that you procrastinate or you put things off because you're doing something you want to do instead of something you can't stand, right? But what I want you to do is think of the words that came to mind when you thought of procrastination. Unmotivated, unreliable, lazy. And then think of the consequences that you listed about procrastination. The speeding tickets, the getting late to places, the stress, the frustration. When we look at the negative terms and we look at the consequences, well, how good are those benefits actually making us feel? Does it feel good to be told that you're lazy? Does it feel good to be anxious all the time? Why then, if it actually feels kind of bad to procrastinate, do we still do it? And the answer is overwhelm. When we feel overwhelmed and the task seems insurmountable, we shut down. And when we keep avoiding it, it becomes habit. So we have overwhelm and leads us to procrastinate. And then we feel stupid and lazy, which leads us to feel badly. And then we shut down and we just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. And we're, if we want to take it back to homework time, we're complaining about our kids procrastinating, but oh my God, like what is the mental process that they're going through as they procrastinate? Is it any different than yours? To stop that overwhelm, we need to give it a name. We need to give it a face. And then suddenly it's not so scary. I want you to write this down. Procrastination is not an I won't, it's an I can't. And now, with that in mind, we're going to dive into today's exercise. If you haven't printed out or downloaded your workbook, go ahead and do so now. And remember, we're going to be taking screenshots of it and sending it to marniepash@teampash.com because I would love to see what you're putting into it. And 2, you get entered in a raffle to get a place in the founder's class of the homework playbook. I want you to answer the question about an experience or a time that you felt so overwhelmed, like you couldn't even think about brushing your teeth because even that made you just shudder. You were that overwhelmed. How did you get out of that overwhelm? Could you? And I hate to take you back to yucky times, but I swear it has a purpose, okay? Remember, trust the process. We dive into exercises like this much deeper in the Homework Playbook workshop. We have weekly virtual sessions for Q&As to kind of explore what it is that we're finding out as we answer these questions. And you have access to a group of parents and myself who have so much to offer in ways of experiences. So in this Procrastination Reboot, we're just getting a little taste, but certainly we're going to go a lot deeper on this in the Homework Playbook. But for this moment, just focus on one moment in time where you experience some level of overwhelm and then explore kind of like what was going through your head in that moment. And when you're done, I want you to take a moment and write 4 steps that you could have taken to break down that overwhelm. Not 2, not 3, 4 steps. And this is why. If you're buried under overwhelmed, if you have ADHD and it's difficult for you, or if you just kind of struggle in getting outside that tunnel vision, well, you're going to be like, holy mothballs, how do I even begin to get out of this? And that is why it doesn't say do you any good to have one step that says fix the problem, right? I mean, if we could just fix the problem, well, we would do it, right? And we would feel better and not have any problems. But if we're coming from that place of overwhelm, what we really need is just one easy, digestible step. So, okay, this is a super silly example, but let's take brushing your teeth. If you say to someone, brush your teeth, and it doesn't get done, well, all right, well, let's break it down. Step 1, pick up the toothbrush. Step 2, smear the toothpaste on. Step 3, put it in your mouth. Step 4, brush each section of your mouth for 2 minutes. And then 5, spit and rinse. And really, I said 4 steps, but I think that 5th step is kind of important in teeth brushing. But everyone can start with that first step and trigger getting out from that difficulty of the vastness of the whole step of brushing your... Okay, that was probably a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. The same thing applies to running a business and being part of the PTA and, getting through carpool line without, muttering angry things on your breath and having dinner and tending to your great grandma's estate. I don't know. I'm just pulling random things out of here. You need to break it down. And it needs to be specific. And 4 steps I find really helpful because it, really makes you break it down. And you can, at the very least, start with that one actionable step. And after you write these steps, I want you to kind of reflect. If you had done this during this time of overwhelm, how would it have changed your feelings? How in control would you have felt of the situation? If you could have just started movement and broken out of that narrow scope of vision that was preventing you to see how you could possibly even get out of this. And in the Homework Playbook, one of the obstacles that we talk about is our own schedule. And how when we have our schedule, work schedule, home schedule, kids schedule, husband schedule, partner schedule, whatever it all is, and we try then to jam homework and school time in on top of it, well, it causes overwhelm. And so I have these scheduled moments where we have plan jams. You can wear your pajamas, you can bring some cheese balls, whatever you want to do. But we sit down and we break down our week and we see where homework time is going to fit best. Because we need to get out of that overwhelm so we are in our best mindset when we approach homework time. Take screenshots or photos of your playbook, send them to marniepash@teampash.com so you can get your chance at winning a free spot in the founders class of the homework playbook. And if you have questions or if something's coming up for you, shoot me an email and talk about it. Tomorrow, we're going to look at how procrastination and our own overwhelm ties in the homework time and why it is I've been having you answer these questions from your lens instead of your child's lens. And part of it is because we need to change our mindset. We need to change our mindset so we can enter homework time as a partner and not the enemy. I can't wait to hear from you. Send me those pictures, and I will see you tomorrow. This is Marnie Pash, Team Pash Academic Coaching, and this is the Procrastination Reboot Week. What?